421 South Drive.
To the county, really?
5421 on campus.
Come on.
I swear to God, I tell you about I tell you about everything. I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you, please.
Wait, hold on. You gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? 7 what you saying, man?
We're gonna see what we can do for you, alright?
We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
After news of members snitching in court, Durk's reaction was concerning. This is because the new evidence they want to use against Durk started in a group chat, making it obvious who the snitch is. It reads, Durk is facing allegations from federal prosecutors that he put hits on O-Block members for not retaliating for King Von. Prosecutors plan to introduce testimony from a witness who claims Durk gave the orders. In the evidence files it reads, Durk feuds with O-Block member Mona Duke over Durk's belief that members weren't retaliating for King Von's passing. But this wasn't the only evidence given to prosecutors. It was announced feds believed Durk was also behind the attempt of Quando Rondo in 2021 at a gas station in Blackshear, Georgia. As it was reported, surveillance footage and witness testimony related to the attempt of Quando in Georgia. Also reading, in his song Durk Raps, they're on my page like Slide for Von. I know they're trolling me. In his podcast he said, for some reason I just don't see those comments anymore. They aren't using the lyrics against Durk, but they're using the date of the song's release to line up with the hit on Quando. This resulted in rappers reacting, please tell me this isn't real. When you look deeper into what's really going on in Durk's case, it's not good. It was just announced. The new Ted body cam footage of him begging to snitch against Durk and members has changed the case. Durk's lawyers submitted paperwork for extended time on their bond proposal. If you didn't know, Ted is Dee Dee's younger brother, and Dee Dee is Durk's main hitter, who is usually in charge of carrying out crimes that Durk wants done. With Ted being his brother, it's likely he knows a lot, which is why when the cops arrested Ted for an unrelated charge, it helped them a lot in the case, as they used Ted's charges of carrying a firearm to make him take a deal against Durk.
421 South Drive.
To the county, really?
5421 on campus.
Shit, okay. Dude had a what about that? A man had a with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
Ted was driven to the police station, but before he got inside, he wanted to snitch. He hoped to not be thrown into jail, but it was way too late.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
I swear to God, I tell you about I tell you about everything. I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
As he waits in the cell, Ted is seen crying his eyes out. He wanted nothing more than to rat on people he knows who did crimes.
Wait, hold on. You gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? 7 what you saying, man?
We're gonna see what we can do for you, alright?
We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax.
Give me no, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
However, OTF Vonni, who's closely tied to the group, is snitching against Durk too, as Vonni's file got updated and it shows he is no longer in custody, which means he's likely on house arrest after accepting a deal. We got an inside look on what Vonni's been doing because he texted a close friend about the situation, but the friend leaked the text, as Vonni was caught saying, I'm trying to plea out to a 32, which is the base for M for hire. The max is 43, which is life. I'd get -2 points for a plea, -1 point for an early plea, and -2 points for no background. So I'll have 27 points, which is 5 to 7 years. I can't go to trial. I don't want them to do me like the other guys. When saying I don't want to get got like the other guys, he's referring to OTF Jam, but more on that later. With Vonni snitching, Vonni's father came out and snitched on his son for making a deal with the feds. Rather than being happy that his son got a deal and would be home sooner, he wanted to expose Vonni, as Vonni's dad said that Vonni was involved in King Von's passing and that Durk knew about it.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonni, is it open? Vonni told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonni, was it open? This is what he asked him. Was it open? This was the exact words. Was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonni backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that, another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before he died.
But academics wondered why Durk would want to get rid of Von. At first it makes no sense because they were close, but when you remember that they were facing a criminal case together, it makes more sense. Shortly after Von passed, the case ended in a private settlement, which most likely means that Durk blamed the crime on Von since he was gone, which allowed for Durk to get his charges dropped and stay free.
Why would Durk want Von?
Man, let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table when I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
Dude was
thing.
a slack. He was signing the boys. He was a Von wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that, which was interesting.
Come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He got a public defender."
This is when a tweet went viral reading, Vonnie's dad leaking that Durk had Von dealt with makes me wonder why Durk goes on Instagram Live when he's connected to a passing. He went on live the minute when Von, Lil Pab, and FBG Duck passed away. As fans believe, Durk uses Instagram Live like an alibi. If he gets questioned about his whereabouts during one of these hits, he just claims he was busy on Instagram Live. Although we know now that Durk could have just as easily placed the hit on whoever he wants. This would allow him to keep streaming on Instagram Live and watch it play out. Although Vonnie's father wasn't done with Vonnie. Vonnie's father reveals Vonnie orchestrated Lil Pab and King Von's hits.
Oh no, he ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches of paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches? What?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages, like that's.
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
Cause that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that,
Yeah.
and with me saying Von, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words on Von?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Von name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Von. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Pab. You orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
Vonnie's father is from the streets where if someone snitches, you can snitch on them. Even Durk's sister-in-law confirmed Vonnie was a snitch by calling him a rat. But with Durk in a bad spot, his lawyers are doing their best to get him released. With it announced, Durk has filed a new motion to dismiss based on the vagueness of the second superseding indictment. If it is not dismissed, he requests a bill of particulars. The coded language used, the nature of the bounty, the time and date, audience, and circumstance. In the paperwork, Durk's lawyers are asking the prosecutors to show the evidence where Durk gives his offer for the bounty of Quando Rondo. They want to know the reward that Durk offered for the crime to be done, and what was the date and time. In a typical court case for M for hire, all of this would have been shared by now. However, the prosecutors aren't giving it up, making Durk's lawyers believe they don't even have the evidence against him. However, this resulted in something concerning. Durk was taken into solitary confinement after a CO discovered a cell phone in his jail cell.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS. And right now we're going to show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
However, there's another reason. It was shared. Durk was involved in an altercation inside jail this morning, which resulted in Baby tweeting, "I don't care about nothing else other than Durk right now, free the bro," as the streets connected it to another OTF member being targeted. With it reported, Durk's close friend passed away in Chicago, meaning several OTF members were targeted around the same time, making them believe someone is after them. But fans wondered who would want revenge. One of Durk and OTF's biggest ops is Quando Rondo. Not only did Quando and his friend Lil Tim take out King Von, but Durk allegedly slid for Von on by taking out their friend Lil Pab, which is for the charge that Durk is currently facing. It's also interesting to note that Quando and Tim released interviews on the same day that Durk was targeted. But what's surprising is that even though Durk is allegedly responsible for ordering the hit on Lil Pab, they acted like they only wanted peace in their interview, with Tim saying,
"No, like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother."
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying f him and shit like that, cause I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
Quando Rondo followed it up saying something similar, which has fans wondering if they're trying to act good in social media, but behind closed doors are ordering hits.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever. Like, it could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
However, Durk's lawyers tried for another bond, and Durk's father believed he was getting one. With this being his third attempt, his lawyers made an offer so great the judge can't refuse it.
I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son, at least for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for it, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
The prosecutors dropped evidence against him, which gave him a possible release. The News wrote, "Today, Durk's court hearing had the prosecutors telling the judge they are willingly throwing away evidence against Durk. They read it out loud in court in front of everyone. I wonder how this affects the rest of his bond hearing." As they dropped their lyric evidence of Durk rapping, "Told me they got an addy, they got the location go. Look on the news, see your son scream and know."
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
This was a very corrupt and wrong way of dropping evidence right before Durk tried getting a bond. Even though it got removed from the case, it still has the judge thinking about it. But we saw Charleston White react.
This is a real victory. Now that demonic force was a dark force. It was a dark energy. I think we now finally get to put that fire out. I don't think we'll hear drill music ever again. I don't think drill rappers would ever be celebrated ever again. Down goes the drill. So this is a victory for law-abiding Americans who like hip-hop music but don't like the killing part of it.
As you can tell, the Charleston White hates Durk and is happy he's locked up, but lawyers believe Durk has a decent chance at getting out of the case. One lawyer spoke about the prosecutors dropping the evidence.
The other allegation they backed away from, which is huge, it shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy.
As the case continues to get weaker for the prosecutors, because they still haven't shown any proof to suggest that Durk is responsible.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Act. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
Although the judge made his ruling on Durk's bond and the news wrote, the feds say Durk would need to go completely broke and give up all of his property to be granted bond. They fear he might use his fortune to place bounties on witnesses.
No bond for Lil Durk. Let me tell you about what options he has left and why the bond was denied this time. Now, he's in federal court on a murder for hire charge where he faces the possibility of life in prison. What that means is under the federal law, it is presumed that you do not get a bond because the charge and the penalty are so serious. So your lawyer has to go out there and show why you should get a bond. Now, ultimately, what the district judge decided to deny the bond on was a couple of factors. There's a couple $1 million being put up, but it's not all being put up by Durk. Some of it is from the label, and ultimately Durk has a lot more money and assets than what's being put up. So if I let him out on bond and he tries to flee, he's going to have tons of assets and money at his disposal.
As this is a serious concern for the feds, since they believe that Durk already hired a hit on someone before, they're wondering if he will do it on anybody that turns on him, because they're worried he already did something to OTF Jam. It was announced, has anyone heard from Jam after he snitched on Durk? Several members are gone, but he's been gone for months. DJ Vlad made it public that Jam is considered a snitch in Durk's case.
There's a guy named OTF Jam.
That was wired.
Very ironic name.
Jam got him
put
in
everyone
a
in a jam.
Did 12 years.
12
got
years.
out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
This. Made mention that ain't no smut on his name. He ain't never been a rat. Caught a gun case, but eventually he flipped.
With Jam being outed as a snitch, the news reported Jam found by OTF members hiding in a crib outside Atlanta. Sources claim Jam was dealt a punishment for snitching on Durk. A photo was released of the scene where Jam was staying at, and he hasn't been heard from since. Jam is very important to the feds, because he provided them with over 230 gigs of digital evidence, from audio recordings, video footage, and 20,000 pages of reports. From the 230 gigs of evidence, they're trying to throw 2 more charges on Durk, as they believe Durk paid to get 2 people dealt with. The first is Stefan Mack, who previously took out Durk's brother D Thang, and the second is Jam's baby mama, who apparently passed after Durk heard Jam was snitching. They believe that Jam is key to putting Durk behind bars for all the crimes. Fans found this old Instagram live of Durk and Jam together, where fans believe that Jam is wearing a wire. As you can see that he constantly messes with his jacket and whispers to it.
Give me the check on your man. I heard you got his head. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I was having a dare. Architect. What happened to dare? Schools outside of town.
But in a weird twist, it's possible that Durk knew Jam was snitching before he got locked up, because he did an interview and it was recorded that Durk knows when someone around him is snitching.
I see from a mile away. I don't think people realize that. I could have a conversation with you for 5 seconds and know your cooperate.
But Durk spoke more on this, saying he doesn't even allow his closest friends to his house anymore. He really tightened up his security. He knew people around him weren't staying solid. He did his best to protect himself from the law, but it looks like it was too late.
Nobody is ever allowed to my house. My best friend never been in my house.
For real?
I promise.
Your best friend?
I promise. Like, it's people like that I just don't allow around my girl and my kids. Cause it's like, I'm just a different type. I'm not the. We're gonna have family night at Durk house tonight. It's the.
Everybody at Durk's crib.
Yeah, we gotta. Everybody getting watched. We gotta watch everybody. Hey, they go too close to them kids. You know what to do. Like, that's how I play. Like, I don't play. I see from a mile away.
I don't think people realize.
What's crazy is that Jam snitched on Durk despite Durk giving him $50,000 only 2 years ago.
You know what's name, but steady crying, huh? He steady crying. Feed him. Feed him. Get in the milk, bro. Get in the milk so baby mama get the tripping, bro.
See that?
Feed
for my
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies, ain't it? I gotta hold my money like this. It's too much. Crazy though. Motherfuckers sitting up there doing all this. Sneak this and internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Just buy what I want, do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro. Goof.
Bro got out what?
You know that
How many you did it all?
And the years I did it now?
Yeah. That's your last bit. 12?
12.
That boy popped out 12 years. So much money. We really was just getting in order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
However, the people in the back of the live are the same suspects that were arrested for taking out Lil Pab in the case. It also appears that they used to hang out with King Von many years ago before he passed, further proving that the Lil Pab hit was all for revenge.
Solitary stone.
We just looked at him.
Let's go over there.
What up, bro?
Boss, you good? My boy. Let's go.
They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in. The money maker stepped in.
However, evidence of Durk being involved with Stefan Mack's passing came out, as he posted an Instagram story 30 minutes after he passed. The story says it was for D-Thang. Was Durk really dumb enough to reference Stefan Mack's passing within 1 hour after it happened, or is it just a coincidence? The feds are convinced it was on purpose, because the next day he went on Instagram Live again and started laughing.
Hey, somebody always said, it's laugh Khan. Somebody always said, it's laugh Khan. Well, look Khan, that'll, yeah.
Even Durk's lawyer spoke about if they would entertain a plea deal, but they have no interest in it.
You know, likelihood of a plea. I think a lot of people have seen, like, this seems like it's a do or die thing. This is kind of like it's gonna be like a 1 or 0 type of situation. You're either are or you're not. Is Durk, from your understanding, or you as a lawyer right now, as his criminal attorney, are you open to possible conversations about plea deals? Are you thinking, no, we're going all the way? Would you entertain it, just entertain it, because that's your job to listen to it and maybe present it to Durk, or that's just off the table?
It's a conspiracy commitment case. It's an all or nothing case, and he did not participate in a conspiracy to commit. And so there is no alternative. It's a life sentence, potential life sentence. So this case is going to go to 12 people.
They'll put it all on the line for Durk because they believe they can get out of a lot of evidence based on the First Amendment. They will say that any incriminating thing that Durk said was just to further his rap career. Because the more that he's able to bring drama and real life into his music, the more attention it gets. But it doesn't necessarily mean that Durk was involved in the actual crime. He's just using it to help his career.
There's a First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, the First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is violent.
But the lawyer continued speaking about the case and believes that Durk might be released like Young Thug.
We've seen it happen quite a bit. I don't know that I'd say it's been persuasive. I think the biggest example we look at is Young Thug. Down in Atlanta. They took a lot of his lyrics, and even though technically speaking, ultimately they got a conviction, he actually walked out on time served. Most of the people that were prosecuted didn't end up being convicted, and I don't think anybody would call that prosecution a successful prosecution. And so, you've got freedom of speech issues. Does it mean that just because I'm saying something in a rap song, it typically is a rap song, does that mean that I actually did something? And this is an extra interesting twist here because Lil Durk's attorney is saying, well, this song was actually released months before.
As he also went on to explain how the prosecutors likely don't understand rap culture, this has happened in many cases just like Durk's.
Yeah, and I'll go out on a limb and say that sometimes prosecutors don't necessarily understand hip-hop culture. It's almost like a text without context. So you got to really understand the time, the place, the audience. Sometimes they might speak in ways that seem direct to somebody that's outside of the culture, but doesn't necessarily, but can mean several things to someone inside the culture. So it would certainly be a flub, big time, right? But it wouldn't be the first time that such a thing has happened where somebody looking through the window, particularly of hip hop culture, doesn't understand what's being said other than their desired use of it.
Although the feds do understand that a lot of rappers are connected to each other. News of a new snitch in the case came out, with it reported prosecutors delayed Durk's chance of being released on bond to gather last-minute evidence against him for the next hearing. Talk of a new snitch is going around the courtroom. As fans believe Brick Baby is the new snitch, he was arrested 1 week before the news came out. Big U, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, and others all arrested in a rolling 60s takedown. As news reported, lawyers believe Brick Baby will snitch on Durk. The timings of both arrests make lawyers believe the feds will force Brick Baby to give everything up on Durk. Brick Baby seems to know a lot about the case. Shortly after Lil Pab passed, Brick Baby went on a live stream and said, "People can't say Durk didn't slide for Von anymore," implying that Durk was the one responsible for Lil Pab. As many fans wonder if it was Brick Baby who got the feds' attention on Durk.
But was this an attempted hit? Or
Well, you can't say that no more.
Then they put you as
Why?
God.
Like, who died? You can't say that no more. Oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh, who?
Federal charges in California.
Nah, because Lil Pab.
So this is about the...
Oh! What's that? But I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more.
However, they even tied Brick Baby to the Durk lyrics that we mentioned earlier, as they believe it was Brick Baby that dropped Quando Rondo's location to Durk, as Brick Baby said on an interview that he would have dropped Quando Rondo's location if Durk asked. He even defended the decision too, as if he actually did it.
Why is that? Then it's people like, you lined up somebody from your hood. Like, listen, I didn't. But at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Oh, this is my boy. He lost his boy. Who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, had he had asked me, I probably would have been coke if he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, can I leak a bar?
Sure.
I said if he make the call right now, I'd something.
Right.
Like the video if you think that Durk will be free again at some point. I'm curious how many of you do.